Jason,
Yes,
it's
sir.
an honor to talk to you.
Thank you.
Got a lot of great things I want to share with your listeners, especially if they live in Massachusetts. There's an organization statewide. It's called Liberty Preservation Association of Massachusetts, masslpa.org. We are launching a campaign. We've already been doing this, but now in the fall they're planning on retaking up this bill in the House, which already passed in the Senate. It's a pandemic and disaster preparation and response bill, and it passed the Senate already. Now they're planning on taking it up in October in the House. Basically, it says everything you went over in the WHO document.
And I think you've got it backwards, sir. It went through Congress, which is the House, and is now going through the Senate. It doesn't go vice versa.
Well, in the Massachusetts, it already passed in the Senate.
You're saying that it went through the state Senate in Massachusetts?
I'm talking about a state bill.
Okay, all right, my bad.
Yeah, it's called S-2028.
Okay.
And as a direct result of MassLPA's lobbying, we've actually been able to actually get some of these senators who voted for it to issue statements saying that they will not support it in the fall, and that they're and so we've actually had some good positive responses as a result of our work. Not so much me personally, but a lot of our members out west, especially in Western Mass, have done a lot of great work. Some people out in Boston. We're all divided up in a district, and I would urge your callers in Massachusetts to go to masslpa.org, join up, download the flyers and the trifolds we have, and get involved in this thing, because it looks like they are trying to do something here.
Well, sir, we have the website up on the prisonplanet.tv right now, and I thank you for the call. I do urge everybody in that area to alert your neighbors, and this does look like a good organization and a great way to get the word out, because, they're trying, again, the guy was asking me, well, what do I do? Well, they're going to try to claim international law, but they're building the infrastructure so it's also state law. It's federal law, okay? Local government's going to come at you. They want all of their bases covered. They want to be able to claim multiple jurisdictions over you. Look, you're your own jurisdiction. You're your own free human being. You're your own entity. Your child is yours. It is not the state's. All right, you need to know what to do and how to step up to the plate and take action if this hysteria turns into much, much more. And they're spending billions and billions of dollars in infrastructure to make sure that it is much, much more. All right, let's go to Jeff in Texas. Jeff, you're on the line.
Hi, Jason. Quick bit of swine flu news in the magazines. I was downtown Austin at the Whole Foods World Headquarters, and on the magazine rack was an audaciously named magazine called Mental Floss, a magazine for thinkers. The magazine was a joke, but what I want to point out was that there was a big article titled How to Win Friends and Inoculate People. And it was all about how the U.S. Navy is going to be sending their hospital ships out to foreign ports, not with soldiers and guns, but with nurses and doctors and vaccinations.
Oh, it's because, again, it's a lot easier for people to line up to roll up their sleeves than to line up at a shooting range and be gunned down. Yeah, does it take, 10 or 20 years to take them out with a soft kill weapon? It does, but we're willing to be that patient if they're willing to be that docile and come over and say, please give me the sickness. I thank you for the call, Jeff. Let's go to Arthur in Massachusetts. Arthur, you're on the line.
I already said Alex broke in with my first one. I left with a call there. The next one here is the CDC, their definition for the novel H1N1 flu. It's novel. It broke out, April 2009 in the U.S. Well, and it refers to, scientists call this a quadruple reassortment virus. Come from 4 different things. I think when you mentioned it before, it's like 3 different ways.
Well, let me say 3, because I believe it's 2 parts H1N1, 1 part H5N1, and 1 part human flu. So I guess if you want to break it down, I mean, it is 4, but it's 2 parts of swine flu, 1 part bird flu, 1 part human flu, correct?
There's 4 separate parts.
So which one is the 4th? Are you saying that what's the 4th separate part? If it's not,
you can get it right. This is what the CDC's definition, what they have on their site, which is very interesting. And what this lets me to get, with this thing being actually, you had the antivirus that came up years ago, where they got the patent coming on it. That's kind of serious. Like they released released that, well, what do they really have to release if that was the preliminary?
Well, you know what? Let's go over, and I thank you for the call, what they originally said. They said, oh, this is, coming from Mexico. It's pig flu. We need to worry. Then they couldn't find any pigs with it in Mexico. Then the first case of a pig having this quote-unquote swine flu virus occurred in Canada. And then they tried to blame it on this Mexican migrant worker that made it all the way up there. Now, when this little CFR queen went on the Colbert Report, and we got to pull that one too. Look for Colbert and swine flu. It's that woman that had the cover of Newsweek with the piggy sticking out, and she calls Lou Dobbs a racist, and then she says that the swine flu didn't come from Mexico. And I don't believe it did come from Mexico, but then she doesn't allude to where it really did come from. She tries to say the United States, but they didn't find any pigs with swine flu in the United States. It's complete made up nonsense. And of course, she's fear mongering that everybody needs to take this thing. All right. So she's on the Council on Foreign Relations. She wants everybody to take the shot. She calls Lou Dobbs a racist. She makes fun of, I believe it was the head of Health and Human Services in India or something like that, something very close. She was critical, or I should say, I'm not sure if it was a she or a he in India. They were critical, and they said, this looks like a bioengineered virus, okay? Yeah, I do believe that is the clip, guys. Now, anyway, they believe that this was a bioengineered virus, and then she says, this person in India thinks the government did it, or the Jews. They love throwing the J word around. This woman had nothing to do with saying the Jews did the swine flu. No, she said, this looks like a bioweapon made up in a lab. You're not allowed to say that without having the establishment opposition come up and try to make you out to be a racist. A racist. So we're going to come back with that clip. We're going to come back with more calls on the swine flu. We're going to hit up this stack of 20 or so articles, and then we're going to get to other news and other calls. Sorry about that first caller, folks, but had to be done. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas. Go check it out over at Infowars.com right now or streaming live at PrisonPlanet.tv.